welcome to the. Can I call this a show yet? I don't know. This is number
No titles.
4.
You know?
There's no title yet, but this is the 4th time having someone here at my tiny desk making an interview work with these microphones sticking in our face here. We have 2 people behind us who I'll introduce, or I'll have them introduce themselves in a second. But first, let me introduce Jene here. Jene, if you didn't read the description, he is the owner of El Bodega Prints and the founder of Resistance Racing.
Resistance Racing. Resistance Racing.
Anything else you want to say to the people out there about that?
Yeah, we could jump straight into it.
Not straight into it. Just give yourself. Is there anything I missed on the introduction?
Anything that you missed in the introduction is owner of Bodega Prints, and I run Resistance Racing, and also I've been the main person behind track lacrosse and trying to keeping it, just pushing track lacrosse forward. And yeah, I just live life. I live in Oakland. So
currently in Oakland, California. Yeah. Peep the hat. Also, we have 2 people back here making funny faces behind us and whispering behind our heads. Would you 2 like to come up to the microphone and introduce yourselves?
Hell yeah.
You guys both get a mic here. Go ahead. You got to talk right into the mic.
What's up, guys? I'm Tom. I ride bikes with Jene. I recycle plastic in the Netherlands.
Check this out.
Tom made my earrings.
I made Jene's earrings.
They're
actually still my earrings. Not
yeah,
yet,
exactly.
This looks like a cell phone.
Cell phone.
iPhone 12.
Holla back.
What's up? I'm Daisy. I live here in New York. Friends with these guys. I'm here for the party.
Bike party.
For the party.
All right. Thank you, 2. If you have anything you want to chime in with, please just step on in every once in a while. So we got Jene in here. The first thing I want to, it would be cool for you to do is, just you're a New York, you live in Oakland now, but you're a New York native.
Indeed.
And I'd like to hear about, how it was growing up in New York, where you grew up, like, how life was before you moved to Oakland.
Word. Man, that's a deep question because I grew up in the Story Projects. So it's in Queens, right on First Street, basically one end of Queens, technically, if that's First Street, right? And yeah, I just grew up in the projects and went to school around there, 126, LIC High School, 171. If you know about it, yeah, I mean, how deeper we want to go with this is like,
as far as you want to go.
Yeah, as far as I want to go. There you go. That's what's up. Cool. I mean, yeah, and the only reason why I'm like that is because there's like so many stories behind what happened there in my time frame. I started scootering was an exit to what my environment was in the moment, and and the friends I was hanging out with.
Scootering.
Mm-hmm.
We got to talk about that.
All right,
what do you
cool.
mean it was an exit to your environment? Like, just like it was like tough growing up, so you had like an outlet to kind of spend your time and
yeah. I mean, I only made it tough for myself, because at the end of the day, like, I still had a home, I had clothes on my back, and I had a hot plate of food every day and parents that loved me. But I made it hard on myself because of my surrounding and the friends I was hanging out with. And one day I was riding bikes and I seen a few of my homies from like kindergarten. But, I recognized them because I always see them in the neighborhood. And one day there was all like three of my friends were on scooters, and I stopped my bike. I was like, what are you guys doing here? Like, what are you guys doing on scooters? And I was like, oh, we're just doing tricks. And one of them just busted out a tail whip. And I was like, whoa, like, all right, cool. And like, I hung out with them that day. Went home later that night. I was like, Dad, I need a scooter. And he was like, all right, cool. Like, it was like, I don't know, $50 for a Razor scooter online. Showed up like a few days later.
Was this before they were doing like the super like overbuilt handlebars and stuff?
No, that was when they started, but they didn't have the overbuilt decks. So you know how on the Razor they have like the foldable mechanism.
Yeah.
Boom. So we would take that out and then go to the hardware store and get a bolt and a nut and just crank it down so that way it just never moved again. You know, so it could become a solid scooter.
Yeah.
And then at that time they was like making bars. People just putting tubes. You know how on the aluminum bars you could like take out the grips basically, or like the bar ends, whatever they're called. People would take that out and put a tube in there and then screw it in, and they would just have wider bars. So everybody was just like jig rigging it. I mean, nowadays you could just go to Target and buy a scooter, you know, like what's considered a pro trick scooter. So yeah,
that's interesting. That's pretty common with you're the first person to mention riding a scooter, but I think everyone that I've had on here so far has a background in some kind of other thing that's not, I guess it's, some of it is bike related, but it's like BMX. It's like skateboarding, BMX, scooter, rollerblade. We've taught, it's like something that keeps coming up, and I think it's cool to hear. So you went from riding bikes to jumping on scooters. So how did you get back into riding bikes again?
No. So you know what? Actually, yes. All right. So like, yeah, I rode bikes. You know, that's the way my dad was. He just like bought me a bike, and you know, that day specifically, I hit up my friend. I was just trying to ride around and, you know, just cruising around the neighborhood. So I just had a bike to cruise around on, you know, which I think every kid should have a bike or some type of like wheels or transportation, you know. Yeah, and then I started scootering, and then from scooters, I like got a BMX bike, and then from BMX bike, I found out that you can make money riding track bikes and delivering orders, you know, and that's how I kind of got into it.
Was it food, like orders, like food delivery at first?
No. So it was actually Street Kings was my first messenger job. So
that's also came up in the show before. Yeah.
And well, I want to get even deeper in that. Shout out to Fernando. I should hit him up actually while I'm out here, you know. What's good? If you're seeing this,
someone sent this to
but yeah.
Fernando.
So what happened was that I was in Hawaii on vacation. My brother was getting married out there, and then, you know, a few of my other siblings were out there, whatever. And one of my other brothers has a wife, and you know, she has a dad, and her dad is Fernando. So she seen that I was already riding bikes, and she was like, oh, you know, like my dad runs a messenger service, and like showed me some YouTube videos. And I was like, oh, okay, like that's a thing. And, you know, I started to get to the point in my life where I kept like breaking scooters, breaking BMX, like wanting new parts. And, you know, I just had to start working to like maintain that, because my dad was like, I got you started. Like, you need to fix your own bikes now and fix your own scooters. I was like, all right, cool. Like, that's how I started getting a job, was because I just needed to maintain the activities, you know?
Damn, that's a solid move by your dad.
Yeah, definitely. So, you know, so when I got back from Hawaii, yeah, I hit him up, and that's how I started working. He kind of like put me on to the game. Yeah.
Cool, man. So you went scootering, bikes to scooters, on to working on your bike. So I guess that gets, I have a little question here that I was going to say, how did you get into riding track bikes? So track bikes.
Oh, track bikes was from day one.
Day one, you jumped on a track bike straight up.
Yeah. So what happened was that I had a homie, you know, that had a track bike, and I was like, what's good? You know, what's that bike about? Like, I was in front of school. I was on my way to school, actually, the high school that I was going to. And he was like, yeah, you know, like, you know, some homie, some Mexican homie from fucking Queens was like, you know, Papa, I got this Fixie over here for $50. And I was like, yo, Papa, I got that right now. And, you know, I gave him $50, and I had like a Schwinn bike.
Was it a real like horizontal dropout, or was it like a conversion?
Yeah. It was a horizontal dropout. It had a front brake. I took that off like 2 weeks later. You know, I was just like,
you can't ride on the streets with that.
Well, yeah, it wasn't even that. It was, you know, I was already riding my scooter like a brakeless scooter, because the thing is that when you use the back brake, it wears out the tire, you know?
Yeah.
So Yeah. So anyway, so then, I was riding out like a brakeless thing, and then the BMX bike was brakeless, so it was automatic that like the Fixie didn't need brakes because I knew how to shred already,
Yeah.
from
exactly.
a BMX bike.
Yeah, exactly. Those skills definitely transfer over.
Yeah, yeah. So, yeah, and the C post was seized in it, but otherwise it rode pretty well. Actually, it's crazy that the C post was seized in it because I didn't notice it till like way later. But for some reason, the saddle height fit me perfectly. Or maybe I adjusted it in the beginning and then just rode it like that forever until it got seized and whatever. But yeah, so
Cool,
that was
man.
my thing.
When I first moved to New York, I lived in San Francisco, and Gene now lives in the Bay Area. When I first moved to New York, I believe that we moved across country at the same time. So we didn't meet in the Bay Area really until later. And then I realized he was from New York much later. And I was like, oh shit. And then I started running into people here, and they're like, you don't know Gene? I was like, wait, how do you know him? Oh, he used to live here. And I was like, I had no idea.
Right.
So tell me about moving to San Francisco and like what made you make the move,
Well, first of all, it is a beautiful city. That is like definitely considered home, and I plan on being there for a while longer. Or if anything, it's like always going to be that city that I'm gonna go back to. But I don't know. The transition was interesting. Like going back to like the beginning. What happened was that again, my environment was here, and it was what it was, and I kind of just bought a one-way ticket to SF without even knowing anybody or hitting up anybody. And I mean, I've been wanting to go to California for a while, but I was like talking to my homie, and he was moving back and forth from like LA to New York. Shout out to Johnny Davis. Johnny Davis. Yeah, if you know,
He's making
you know
that thing work out there.
Yeah, exactly. And that's my homie. And he was like, oh, he was just putting me on. And I was like, all right, cool. But the reason why I didn't choose LA was because I was already doing messenger work, and I heard there was work in SF. So bought my one-way ticket. I had 1 month to save up for it, move out there. If you know where the New Mission movie theater is at, when I moved out there, there was, you know where it's at.
It's no longer it's like Alamo Draft House now, right?
Exactly. Yeah. Super dope. So they were renovating it, and it was Scaffoldton. So I pulled up to SF where I'm doing any research, and like I got out of the airport, built my bike, rode to downtown, dropped all my stuff in a storage unit, and started riding around. And the first thing I started noticing was I can't just sleep anywhere because there's homeless people everywhere, and I can't be.
This spot's taken.
Yo, for real. And I couldn't be on the ground level because I was like, I like came out here with valuables on me, and like I got a messenger bag. I got like, I got clean clothes on me at least. So first thing I thought about was I need to be somewhere high up where they won't be at.
Yeah.
And they were renovating the New Mission movie theater, and I climbed up the scaffolding. That's why I slept at for the first week.
Damn,
and then,
Damn, that's fucking ballsy. That's sick. It wasn't cold up there?
It was mad cold, bro. Yo, so tell me.
In SF
Oh my God. All right. Check it. So I didn't do any research, and I recommend that everybody does research. I lived and learned, and I was like, oh, it's California, so it's gonna be mad hot. But I looked at the weather like the week of me leaving, and I was like, shit, it's raining. Like I should bring rain gear. Behind rain gear, you kind of bring like warmer clothes, like like long Under Armour long sleeves, because you put it under the rain jacket. So I brought a bunch of warm stuff for that, and I pulled up, and it was hella cold, bro. Like I put on all my layers, and put the bag over my head, and slept in it like that for like a week. And so I found the spot in Daly City.
Damn, you made it work.
Made it happen.
Where did you find money to work? I know you saved up money, but you eventually have to get a job. What was the first situation that got you started getting paid?
I mean, I only saved up like a G when I moved out there, but Yeah, I got a job at TCB. You know, I was riding around. I already had the bike with gears. I had a rack on it. I had a big bag and a phone that worked, and that's basically all you need to work there. So
Yep.
I was riding around, and it was like a movie because I seen this dude Trailer. I don't know if you know Trailer.
Yeah, no trailer.
Yeah. Cool. So you know Trailer. So boom, he's like riding. He's like smoking a cigarette, and all I see is this basketball just coming his direction, and he caught it while riding, and then threw it back at the kids. Was like, yo, you know, and I was like, oh shit, all right. And I sped up to him. I was like, yo, you work for TCB? And he was like, yeah. And I was like, okay, like, you know, I want to
Yeah.
work there. Yeah. And he was like, email Sam at tcb.com or whatever. And I was like, okay, cool. And he just like cut a left or something like that. And I was like, all right, like, and then I went riding, and I just like showed up straight to the office, and everybody was there, like Chaz, Sam, like JDR, J-Rock, you know, like all the head people were there. Like, I think they were about to have a manager meeting that day, actually. It was probably a Monday. Yo, that's what it was. It was a manager meeting.
Perfect.
Yeah,
timing.
perfect timing. And I showed up, and I was like, what's good?
You just won them over with your sweetness.
Yeah, exactly. My sweetness.
Damn, that's dope. That's fucking savage, man. That's some New York ass mentality.
I guess so. I don't know.
Thank you for sharing.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know.
No, you just
dude.
made it
I
happen.
Made
dude.
it happen. Yeah.
That's good. That's great to hear. So you spent, you know, how long you've been in SF for? What, about 4 years, almost going on 4
Man,
years?
yeah, I don't even know. So the anniversary is on New Year's Eve, right? So it's coming
What?
up.
You got there New Year's Eve?
Yeah, I pulled up New Year's Eve. Yeah, it was pretty
Shit.
wild. My parents still
Years.
wasn't happy about that choice. They're happy from where I'm at now, but they were like, they look at me and they're
Yo,
like,
you-
out of all days, you know?
Yeah, you were like, this is some like New Year, new me shit right
Yo,
here.
I mean, you know, like if you're gonna be committed to New Year, you need to commit. You
Yeah.
know, you can't be making a post about that bullshit. Like I'm changing my diet, and then you know,
In a
fuck
week.
that, fuck that shit,
Yeah.
yo. I mean, I no, you know what? Not fuck that, because I think everybody needs to always consistently make goals and you know just make it happen. Like you don't
Yeah.
even need to make a post about it, but you know you can, like, because you feel good
If it's
about
gonna help
yourself and
motivate.
motivate others,
Yeah.
right? No doubt.
So you have lived and rode bikes in New York and SF.
Yeah.
I'm interested to hear your perspective on just like the differences between the scenes in New York and the scene in SF, especially like it. You know, you don't have to get too detailed, but like in the messenger scene specifically, and maybe like just the all around overall like cycling community in both cities. Like,
Totally.
you know, what are the differences and similarities? Goods and bads or whatever. you want.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I guess within you know, one of the differences that I always notice is that I'm like the young crew. Like when I moved to the Bay, all of my friends are older than me. Like most of the messengers are like, you know, older than me. And when I come out here, like, I mean, there's older messengers, but like, I feel like all the OGs don't hang out in New York for whatever reason, you know, like in SF, everybody hangs out. Like there's a standby spot, like all the OGs hang out there, no matter who you are, how fast you are. And, you know, everybody like cracks a beer every Friday at the Wall, which is like one
I was gonna say,
Sansom.
they moved it, right?
Yeah, because they closed one post, you know, so that's pretty cool. But like out here, you know, there's all the young cats working the apps that are hanging out and like smoking and drinking and walling out. I mean, you know, being young.
Yeah.
But like all the OGs out here in New York don't hang out. I mean, they do, but like you gotta know them to know them. But also, it's, you know, I feel like SF is a smaller world though.
For sure. Yeah.
Like I love this one saying about SF. Like whenever you meet somebody, you know, you just met them. You say, I'll see you later, or I'll see you around. Like when you say peace out, because I feel like in New York you always don't bump into people, but in SF it's different. I mean,
Yeah.
you get it.
Yeah, no, I totally understand. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a small, especially after living here, because I go back to SF
Mhm.
frequently because I have family in the Bay Area, and, you know, I used to have a lot of work in the Bay Area, so it brought me there a lot. And yeah, you see you see how small San Francisco is, and that's not a bad thing either. You know what I mean? Like, it feels just like you're saying, like the community, in my opinion, feels like everybody knows everybody. Like, the community's a little tighter almost.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
It is. Yeah, definitely.
It's pretty large here, so things can get like spread out a little bit.
Mm-hmm. You gotta love it though.
Yeah.
Gotta love it. I mean, I love both cities. I mean, I think I want to touch base on traffic also.
Yeah.
Like, I feel like we should touch up on that. So, you know, I live in Oakland. I work in SF. As long as I've lived there, I've worked in SF. You know, never had a job in Oakland for whatever reason. I mean, I would love to work in Oakland because that's where I live at, but that's not the thing. Anyways, I do deliveries out there, and I've recently come back, which is now, and 2 days ago I worked for Mess Collective, and man, that was pretty tough because of traffic. It's just like totally different. Even though I'm from New York, I used to ride that traffic like nothing, but now, like, coming back, I've been like super cautious. I've been trying to ride in the bike paths, you know, because I don't feel confident in the traffic. Also, because I got like wide bars as well.
Yeah.
And yo, the 8th Ave, what the fuck? What the fuck, yo? So
you can't ride on 8th Ave, like,
dude,
especially north
the bike
of 34th.
path. All right, so this is the easy way of like solving the whole 8th Ave thing. Is I think the main thing is that cars keep trying to cut left, you know, and then go over the bike path. But all they need to do is just put up a light for the bikes and the people turning, you know, and it'll,
like they have on 9th.
Yeah, exactly. And
sometimes on 2nd.
Yeah, because it's super dangerous, because I was just riding up 8th Ave and I kept having to like throw myself in traffic. I don't know. Also, like, 2019 has been a heavy year, you know, and man, yeah, like, if you know, you know. And all I gotta say behind that is fucking give your loved ones a hug and, like, you know, treat your friends nice and, like, make sure everybody's good, yo, because you never know what could happen out there, man. Just real life shit.
It's true.
Yeah.
Truth.
But, you know, but yeah, that's the way I feel about traffic.
Yeah, it's definitely different, especially going back. When I go back to SF, I feel like I almost get like, from riding out here so much, I get like almost shit talk too from like the commuters and stuff. Yeah, people are like eyeing me, or like people will be like, "Hey, you can't. That was a red light, or that's a stop sign." And I'm like, "What? When did people get so
right for real?
Like openly judgmental?" Like, I was like, "This is." Come ride in New York. You got food delivery guys and everyone else going up one way's the wrong way. For real. I don't know.
But
it's
you
different,
know,
different cities.
Yeah, but in retrospect, even though within our community we took a hard hit this year, besides that, like, New York death rates on bicycle deaths has been on a rise. So like everybody's aware now. Maybe that's why like now people, even like commuters, because they see it in the news, you know.
Yeah.
So, like, you know, I'm just trying to put a perspective on why people are, like, trying to correct you more now.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, it's interesting.
Let's transition into, like, some of Gene's business. The businessman's, the business side of Jene. You have a pretty slick little. I have actually never went down and seen. I don't know. Is it still in the space down there?
Yeah.
I haven't went down and seen it yet, but I know. So Jene does El Bodega prints. It's like a screen printing shop.
Yeah.
And is it just you? Is it you? Who else is involved? Is it?
I mean, I just run it really. Yeah. I am Bodega Prints.
So it's all you.
It is all me, but
Sick.
Currently in my studio space, I share it with Chaz.
Mm-hmm.
So it's been really awesome having his energy with me. He's like,
he's down there too.
Yeah. He's down there doing his doodles and drawing, and so it's really great having his energy there, and it's actually pretty dope because he's been now designing and screen printing all of his orders that he's been like shipping out or like ordering.
Yeah, and
it's just dope to let him like have that facility to use, because
it's cool to share and vibe off someone else's energy.
Exactly.
It's better than being somewhere kind of alone.
But so it's in a in the heart of SF, It's in the basement of this really cool cafe that I also work at, which is called Pentacle Coffee. Pentacle Coffee.
It's a good spot to stop off if you're ever riding SF.
Mm-hmm. Yo, dude. I mean, that block is crazy. The block I'm on, Thrasher just opened up next door. We got Supreme.
Thrasher moved to the city from
hold on.
the heart, or they have a space.
No. So Thrasher at 666 Street.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah, they just opened up their first ever Thrasher storefront. Whoa. And it's basically just a museum because, remind you, Thrasher's in PacSun. It's in like all these other like distributors.
Oh, that's right.
So Thrasher just opened up their first storefront ever. And it's right next door to the cafe. Basically, you walk in and it's like a whole museum. And then towards the back is where you could get the one-off Thrasher stuff just from walking in the store only.
Yeah.
And then Supreme opened up around the corner. This other skate brand called Create just opened up there.
All on 6th.
All on 6th. And then there's also this other skate brand that's going to open, but I'm not going to disclose that because until it happens, it happens. But it's...
Damn, that's crazy.
Yeah.
Because 6th Street, those of you familiar with San Francisco, 6th Street is kind of... It had always been like this. It's kind of like an overflow of the Tenderloin. Like, it gets kind of crazy over there.
Yeah, there's a bunch of homeless people there.
It's not sketchy.
It's not, because nobody's going to touch you.
No one fucks with you, but it's just like kind of like if you're not from there, you're kind of like,
exactly,
I'm scared, but it's not nothing.
Yeah.
No, they're usually, everyone's really harmless. They're just, unfortunately, have, it's either mental issues and drug issues that.
It's just everything is right. Like, everything is in your face.
Yeah. That's cool, man. We got to work. Bodega, you worked with, you print a lot of stuff for your other brand, Resistance Racing. And you also help support, like, I know you print a lot of, like, local. Do you do stuff for, like Quake City Rumble and that? Like, who do you work with?
Okay. So, I guess let's touch in about Bodega Prints and what we do at Bodega. So, Bodega Prints all started with, I started organizing races. I started Resistance Racing. Behind that, the next thing was like to try to come out with swag. And Resistance Racing started with me and Nikeen. That's my brother right there. And, we like started it. And the next thing was like, yo, we got to get more creative. We got to come out with our own spoke cards, race number plates. We need shirts. Like, we could collab on the art, but we need to print it. And I literally just YouTube how to screen print. And I was like, oh, shit, that's how you can screen print, huh? And then I was literally just talking to a friend about it. I was like, yeah, I'm thinking about screen printing. And he was like, oh, cool. I have a whole press. I have ink and I have squeegees. You could just have it and pay me whenever you feel like it. And I was like, okay, cool. And then I contacted somebody else and I was like, hey, there's this dude, John at Grease Diner in Oakland that could burn your screens for you. Just show up with, just email him the image. I was like, all right, cool. I emailed him the image. I showed up. Super dope dude. And like, he gave me a lot of advice on how to screen print and, just helped me build myself within that and just started screen printing stuff. I mean, my first run was like Resistance Racing shirts. We could pull up Bodega Prints on Instagram.
Oh
yeah. Because I'm not really official. I do all of this for fun. So, anyways, that's the way I started. I was just doing DIY racing and organizing, right? So, and then it spiraled into a business, and then I didn't really like that aspect because then I wasn't like giving myself time to focus on like my creative stuff and like. Also, maybe just helping out friends. Like if you're a friend and you want something printed, then, I'm down to help you with that. And so I've been trying to vibe off of that. Recently, my new projects with Bodega has been doing a lot of prize shirts. So Bodega Prints.
Yeah, Go ahead. It wasn't loading.
But shit, what was I saying? Oh yeah. So nowadays I'm just people hit me up. They got a race coming up, and I'm doing up to 6 prize shirts for that. I'm not doing it for every race, mainly for local races. So don't hit me up. or do, you know, like, I mean, for sure hit me up and like see what's good. Yeah, so that's what's up. Here, let me help you.
Bodega Prince. You're
Yeah, so we're just trying to get this, you know, Instagram going for y'all.
Am I spelling it wrong or what?
Nah, it's just, hold on.
Oh, L Bodega, of course, man.
Damn, why is this not loading, bro? But anyways, this thing ain't popping up. It doesn't really matter. But, man, I'm just sucking today. Like finding my own like social media.
Do you do you help JDR with his like some of the stuff he does?
No, JDR has his own connection, but I have recently printed like some prize shirts. He did like some slow squad race recently.
Some slow squad stuff.
Yeah, so I you know, he reached out. I mean, cuz the way I feel about the whole like screen print business is hit me up if you want me or don't, and I really don't care because because there's so many people that does screen printing. Like, I'm not here to be a business, essentially. I'm just here to do my own art, help people do their art, and that's about it, you know? Like, because you know, some people are like, oh, I didn't go to you, and then make up an excuse. Is like, it's fine, like, it's all right. Like, I understand you got your own people.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
That's like whatever. You get it.
Why don't you let's talk about resistance racing too.
Yeah,
you
definitely.
talked a little bit about it. I guess before we get into resistance racing, why don't we talk about, could you explain, so I think you're probably like one of the head people when I think of track lacrosse, your face pops in.
Yeah.
And there's a bunch of reasons why, but you know, resistance racing is one. Like, you have done a lot for like the track lacrosse events that have been happening. I guess it's been probably more than 2 years, but it's been like last year was probably like a pivotal year for or this past summer with the Worlds happening in Japan. It was a crazy event, and I know that like there was a lot of people involved, but I feel like you had a huge impact on the whole situation, so it'd be cool to hear about that. Yeah,
so basically what happened with that was me and my dude, Nakeem, we started resistance racing. We started organizing races. And then track lacrosse popped up. You know, we started doing like distance racing, alley cats, and then we did like a little bit of track lacrosse, and then we got a lot of like turnout from that. I mean, you know, because we started resistance racing just to organize races. A lot of people look at resistance racing for track lacrosse, you know, but that's kind of the route that I've turned it, just because, you know, you can only focus, but so many, you know, you can only could focus to so many things or whatever, you know. So I kind of just focus on track lacrosse, whatever. We started organizing track lacrosse, and the next thing was like, yo, we should organize with other cities because, you know, I'm a traveling messenger. Nakeen is a traveling messenger. He's been to other places, and we know people. So all we had to do was like, yo, dude, I want to do this track lacrosse event. Like, do you want to organize it with me in conjunction of a finals being in the city? And everybody was like, yes. And I was like, cool. And then that's how the first year started, you know. And
what cities were involved in the first year?
It was Portland, Bay Area, you know, that's SF, Oakland, and Sacramento. And then we had LA, we had New York, we had New York, we had DC at one point too. Shit, I feel like I'm missing one more.
Minnesota, Minneapolis.
No. But yeah. So all those cities threw races in conjunction of track lacrosse nationals in Minneapolis. That was organized by Jeff from All City, in conjunction of All City champs. And the reason why we did that was, pretty obvious. It was, this is track lacrosse. It's so new. Like, who's really gonna come out to travel for this? So that's why we hit up Jeff, and Jeff nicely agreed to it. And he was like, yeah, for sure. Let's do it during All City Champs. And that's how we kind of did it. Oh, the sixth city that I forgot was Japan. The first year, Japan was a part of the series, JP. And then that's how JP got the energy to throw Worlds 2019. Damn, yo. That's crazy. That's so awesome. Like, Worlds was... Yeah, I know. He did a great job.
I had a great time.
Yeah, exactly. I mean,
yelling and screaming at people, and chasing them around with the camera. And
Track Lacrosse Worlds. Just if you're watching this, you should just Google it.
Yeah. There's gonna be some video and some photos and stuff coming out on that soon. It looks like you got a nice little write up on the Radavis a while back. That's pretty cool.
Oh yeah. This is from Angel.
Yeah, it's
Angel
Perez. Some good
Yeah.
photos on here.
Dude, shout out to Angel, man, for real. Like, Angel is just been hustling, and like he lives in Sacramento, and like currently is working at Squid and shooting I mean, he's been shooting all their photos, but it's just super dope to he came out to every track lacrosse event for the most part and documented it and did a bunch of write-ups on the Radavis. So thank you, Angel. Because
the good word.
because honestly, like having the media presence is like really important behind doing anything, that you're trying to reach out to people at least, right?
Yeah, and
the
Bay Area is
there's like Monica's legs right there. Whose legs are those? But anyways,
the Bay Area is pretty strong in the track lacrosse scene.
In the
dirt scene. Not only for you being there, but like Squid Bikes is from Sacramento. Angel, like you said, shoots for Squid Bikes. A lot of the photos. They just came out with just plugging Squid real quick.
So
they
easy.
just came out with the
sponsor,
so easy
sponsor.
Like steel frame, which is pretty slick. And then they're also in conjunction with the Spray Bike, which I think is actually out of Greece, which my friends were just in Greece. This is just a round circle thing. I just had Brian on here last week, and he was just in Greece and met the Spray Bike guys. So they're all connected.
Yeah, super dope.
All these people are connected, and they're all in different disciplines of cycling, which I just always like to try to share on here. Love for all bikes and anything. It's all the same. There's no I ride a track bike, so
exactly
fuck everything else. Everyone rides, and it's cool.
Exactly.
The community is tied in all these different angles.
Mm-hmm.
And the Bay Area at the track lacrosse Worlds was full Bay Area podium. So they're good riders over there too.
Some people say it was set up, but I promise you it wasn't.
I was there. It wasn't set up.
It wasn't set up. It's just, the Bay just holds it down. Come on, man. I'm Resistance Racing. I'm the one that sets up their course and train them to be on the podium. Come on the world's podium. Who's going to take us down next year, yo?
Yeah. We'll see.
But we'll see, though.
Let's talk about, before we get into bringing in some questions from the few people who are watching us from their phones or computers, real quick, because I just want people to know how fucking insane you are in a great way. Just want to hear, I wasn't there, so I don't have all I have is a story from some other people. I think Mish, the current track lacrosse women's world champion, told me a story about you. Someone else told me too about at the LA Taurus race. And if you guys know anything about the LA Taurus race, I want to race some of them this year. This insane guy did it on a track bike, and it's what is it, 11,000 feet of climbing or 9,000 feet or something crazy.
All right, so
just
first of all, this race was coming up, And I talked that shit. And the thing is that like, I felt like I had to prove myself, because if you're gonna be an organizer of track lacrosse, you better know how to ride your track bike. You know what I'm saying? So like, that was already like my mindset about the whole thing. So I was like, you know what? I'm gonna do this race on the track bike. The night before, me and Chaz was like partying out because the TCB office was closing down. Right, and like TCB that's it was done, so whatever. So we was like
a messenger service in San Francisco, for
yeah,
those of you who don't know.
Thank you. Google it. Instagram it. TCB Courier.
Google it.
Sponsor. But anyways, yeah, so we was partying, and then my phone was dying, but I was like, whatever, we're gonna be driving down LA for the next 6 hours, I'll let it turn off, and I'll plug it in later. We get in the car, the phone doesn't turn on. We drove to LA overnight and got there like 20-30 minutes before the race started, all the way from SF. Pulled out the track bike, the phone still didn't turn on. So basically I did the whole race without a phone. It started snowing, raining, hailing. There was like a 10-mile descent.
You were in LA and it was snowing.
It was snowing, yeah. It was pretty fucking crazy, dude. And shout out to Steffo, because I rode to the first checkpoint. And shout out to the other dude that gave me a map. He gave me a physical map. I like showed up to the first checkpoint following people the whole way through. And then this dude was like, "Oh, you don't have a phone? Here you go. I'll give you a physical map." And gave me a map. And yeah. And then I followed Steffo pretty much for the whole race, got through it. Like I think we finished it in like 9-10 hours. It was rough, dude.
So to give people an idea, what kind of bikes did the other people have that were racing?
Everybody had
race?
mountain bikes and cross bikes, dude.
And you were on a track lacrosse bike?
I was on a Trackload mountain bike. Trackload mountain, baby. That's the next one out.
2021.
Yo, for real. Now it's been a thing actually.
Yeah.
So just to throw that back, the first time I really did a ride on a track bike with knobbies in the front brake, or rode a track lacrosse race in general. Really, it was an adventure race. So there's this Grasshopper series. If you know about it, you know about it. And 2 years ago, they had the course, or 2 years ago is when they changed the course of the first race, basically. But before, it used to be Old Kaz. Mm-hmm. And Kel and Sean was like, yeah, we're going to do this on a track bike, with like a front brake. And it's like an adventure series. It's like 5,000 miles of elevation. Like it's about like 60 miles or something like that. And I was like, all right, cool. Yeah, I'm going to set up my bike for that. And, I went out there and did it. So it's kind of like similar to that. So that was like actually my first introduction to riding fixed gear in the dirt. So, so Latourist.
You caught the bug.
Yeah, Latourist was like an easy one. And also 2020, I'll be out there on the track bike.
I've been calling it LA Tourist this whole time. It's
yeah.
Tourist.
I mean, I've been saying Latourist just
okay.
because it rolls off the tongue better.
It sounds good.
It sounds
way better.
Like water or water.
Water.
You know what I'm saying? Just like throw the O in there. Water.
What are some of your questions for you people back watching us from your computers or
people
phones?
Can interact?
Yeah. There's a couple questions that I'll ask
cool.
now that people have been asking in the middle of the interview, but I'll go back a sec and just...
Damn.
They're asking you, so we're going to...
Okay,
Let's see. We had before I go to that, Brandy, yo, if you're still here, thank you for the donation. Brandy blessed us with $4.99. So
shout out.
You just bought our coffees, I believe.
Damn.
So thank you for that. We bought them before you sent the money. Thank
Holla.
you. Let's see. Mr. Waldman. He's from my man from Russia. I don't know. Did I meet you in Russia when I was there, Mr. Waldman? I don't know. But he's saying, have you ever ridden Fixie in winter? I think you just answered that.
Yeah, right? I did technically. Yeah, I mean, I grew up in New York, so yes. I have worked or rode in a few winters out here.
Justin Paisley wants to know your favorite bike you both own and why.
My favorite bike that I own and why? Well, My MASH bike, because it's like the perfect bike. It's a work bike. It's a track lacrosse bike. It's a commuter. It's a single speed. You know, it's any bike that you want it to be, essentially. And it takes 120 spacing in the rear, so you can pretty much put any track bike wheel on there. You know, it's like a bike for the lifestyle. And the thing is that I like one, you know, if I buy something, like if I buy a jacket, I want the jacket to have a bunch of pockets, just so I could like do a bunch of shit with it, you know, and like have that one thing to travel with. So that's my bike.
Mine would be my everyday single speed that I use to get around the city.
Yeah.
I like it because, well, I recently got blessed with an upgrade to the Low Pro, but I mean, I still appreciate a bike that's kind of like, it's not so flashy, that I can lock up, you know, in New York with 2 locks and just leave it there and not be worried about,
you know,
someone taking my shit. And also I've traveled quite a few places with my everyday bike. I love it, man. Just a single speed.
But the question is, how fat can your tires go?
They don't go that fat. They don't.
You see?
They don't.
There you go.
I have a bike with fat tires, though.
Yeah, no doubt.
So yeah, good question there, Justin. Deja Vu rehearsal. He's always swapping out bars on his track bike. He wants to know, which bars do you prefer? Flats, risers, or drops?
Risers for sure. Yeah, I'm risers all the way for the most part.
And I prefer, if I'm on a track bike, I prefer drops. But if I'm on my like single speed and riding around the city chilling, I'm with risers or flats for sure.
True.
I'm gonna answer that question too.
Oh, here we go. We got
There
a
you
guest.
go.
We got a guest answer.
Just sneak in behind Gene. You can stay there.
Yo,
if you want.
slide in there. Yeah, get in there. Here.
I travel with an extra set of handlebars.
Get closer.
Okay, right there.
There it is.
I
That's
just
perfect.
like put both handlebars in the bike bag when I travel.
Ooh.
And then I swap, because it's a track bike. Like, you don't have any cables or housing.
Yeah.
And for a long ride, you put drops on it. And if you're trying to get dirty, then you put the flat bars on.
Do you have a stem on both sets of bars to make
Yeah,
it extra efficient?
exactly.
Damn.
Stem
Smooth
bar combo.
move. That's a pro move right there for someone who travels with a bike a lot. Keep that in mind. It's not much more
You get
things to carry, really. It's not.
even pedals and shoes.
Yeah.
If you're really feeling the variety, if you're a pro, you can switch them out. And you're
There
on
you
it.
go. You heard the man.
You heard it.
You heard it first here.
We're live
On
We're
the
live.
Untitled TRB show. Let's see.
So if there's any people that are out there in the questions and watching this, I feel like I want to ask you guys a question, right?
Ooh, yeah.
Huh.
Yeah.
Fuck, what question should I ask? I kind of want to ask something like track lacrosse related, like you know, are you like, what's your local track lacrosse race? Do you have a local track lacrosse race? And who's hosting it? Because I would like to know.
Is there anyone in the chat who has raced the track lacrosse race?
Yeah. Or
where?
or
would you like to see it?
Exactly.
There's a delay, so we'll take a second.
Yeah,
so while
yeah,
we're waiting
that's
on
all
that, we will also answer another question. William
Yeah.
LeBron wants to know, you ever thought of doing one in Detroit?
So not me personally, no. But if anybody wanted to organize a track lacrosse race or a series in Detroit, you're more than welcome to. All you need to do is just contact us. Preferably, we would like you to contact us with like previous races that you organized in the past, and you know, we could definitely put you on a list to add you in for next year.
There you have it. Detroit
Yeah.
can be on the list for 2021.
Yeah.
I mean, if you get your act together, they haven't started yet. You can probably be added to the thing now, right?
Nope.
Oh,
That's it. Yeah,
sorry.
yeah. New York was
You
the last
can
entry.
still do it. You just won't be part
Yeah,
of the
well-
series.
well,
which it's good practice.
Exactly. So what I would recommend, you know, you in Detroit, you should just start organizing track lacrosse races now, because what happened last year was that we only had 6 cities last year, And then it blew up, and everybody was like, you know what, fuck this. Even though I'm not in the track lacrosse series in conjunction of nationals, people still threw their own races, and that's awesome. Like, you know, that's what track lacrosse is about. This is what I'm about. Like, I think everybody should like just run with it and run with that energy, and I totally support it 100%. You know, this is for us, not just for me.
I want everyone to see your face.
Oh yeah. Thank you. I wasn't even paying mind to how my face.
Another question. Remember, we did ask where you guys, if anyone's there, if you guys have participated in a track lacrosse race, where was it at, or where would you like to see one? John wants to know what ratio you rode for the LA or the La Tourist race.
John from where?
John D. Marinius. I don't know. John, where are you from?
Yeah, where you from? Why are you pressing me, dog? Don't worry about my ratio. No, you know, some people are like, I've been to like crits, you know, like Red Hook and stuff, where people are really serious, and I've asked like friends that I thought were friends. I was like, yo, you know, what ratio you got? And they looked at me crazy, like, yo, don't worry about it. And I was like, for real? yo, for real. That's a thing. But I'm not like that. But people are like that, which is funny. So whatever. 43.19, I think.
43.19 for the La Tourist race.
Heavy, pretty heavy, I would say. Like maybe this upcoming year I'll do like 43.20.
You going to one of them this year?
Yeah. I'm going to the first one on January 11th. I'm also doing the last one. I forgot the date, but the last one is a 24-hour La Tourist race. And I bought a front dynamo hub for my track bike.
Sick.
Yeah,
that's rad.
I'm going to have a dynamo hub. I'm going to have a rack with the lights on it. And maybe a tent in case I need to take a nap. I don't know, man. You know, what if I get lost in the middle of nowhere and shit? I just need to be prepared.
Yeah, bring a jacket.
Yeah, just bring a jacket.
Justin's saying he lives a few hours from Toronto. He doesn't have much of a fixed gear scene there, but you know, maybe there's some races in Toronto.
Toronto. Yeah, I think there's races in Toronto for sure.
There's nothing official on the track lacrosse thing. There's only 6 cities this year.
True. So
nothing this year, but I'm sure if you went to Toronto, you can find something, or you can pop something off on your own.
Yeah.
Let's see. We're almost done with the questions here.
Yeah, I mean, what else?
Bum. Yo. Oil face. Are you from Modesto? There's not many track fix riders in Modesto, but
dude,
I'm local.
I would love to be reading these myself, but I'm blind, literally.
Oh, sorry. I'm trying to read them to you.
Yeah.
So oil face, he rides a fixed gear freestyle bike. He rides in the dirt trails. You know, he says he likes it all terrains. Okay, that's cool. Yeah. We love it.
There you go.
And I think he followed your IG. He just wanted to let you know.
Oh, cool. Right on.
Yeah, maybe you can come out to the next race. I mean, you're in Modesto, Sacramento. You can show up to the track lacrosse event in Sacramento.
Yeah,
that's really
for real.
Close.
Yeah. Modesto. I mean, you're also close to, you know, the Bay.
I grew up in Fairfield, so
there you go.
I know where you're at. I see you.
I'll be back.
We're gonna close up the questions because there's just so many.
Shout out to Henny.
Hennessy.
Hennessy.
I do want to shout out Hennessy. Thank you for sponsoring this live broadcast today.
Yeah, for sure.
You guys were very special for sending us all that money.
Yeah, appreciate it.
We do appreciate you. Not an ad. Let's wrap this up though. Before we wrap it up, you should plug shout outs.
Yeah. So
Instagrams.
For sure.
Love, hate, no hate, but
yeah, man. So like, I guess I just want to like say kind of a message to everybody in general. Like, I'm really stoked about track lacrosse and what it's becoming, and I'm so happy that it's like organized or not organized. It is organized, but I'm just so happy that it's an open event that a lot of people are stoked about and want to get into, and it's just so awesome to like try to get the community together for that. Feel free to email me if you have any questions about track lacrosse on resistanceracing415@gmail.com. Yeah, and then we have a bunch of cities. Well, let me actually shout out the cities that are gonna be popping up for track lacrosse 2020. So right now we have the organizer Brett Moots. He is running track lacrosse nationals this year, and I will be there assisting him. And he has his own people that's gonna be doing it in Atlanta, Georgia. But the finals in Atlanta, Georgia on June 19th and 21. And the cities that are running it in conjunction of that is Portland, Milwaukee, Philly, NYC, Chicago, Minneapolis, Tampa, Los Angeles, Atlanta, Bay Area, Holla, New Orleans, and San Diego.
New Orleans and San Diego.
Yo, it's 12 cities, dude. It's crazy. But, so that's going to be going on. And then we also got Track Lacrosse Worlds in 2020 that's going to be happening in Sacramento, which Instagram is TXWC 2020 California.
TXWC.
They haven't posted much yet, but trust me, they're like working on the course already. Like,
ooh,
they're doing their thing. Oh, hold on. Pull up the
winning photo.
The Bay Area.
That's a Bay Area podium.
That's a podium from Japan, from Worlds in Japan.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's it right there, man. Yeah, and then who else do I need to plug? So I don't know. This has all been word of mouth, and I'll go ahead and tell you guys this right now. You guys ready? This is real secret. Because there's no Instagram. There hasn't been much social media presence for this. But if you went to Track Lacrosse Worlds in Japan, there was a bid system. Squid, Bikes, and Namba and all those people, they are organized in 2020. And then my dude in Barcelona is organizing nationals in 2021. In Barcelona.
Yeah, what was his name?
Yeah, I know. That's what I'm trying to remember. That's what I was like.
Yo, he was rad.
yeah, but he was super cool.
Yeah.
Shout out to that dude.
We see you.
Yeah, we see you. I'm bad with names, so excuse me. But whatever. I don't care. I'm a human. But yeah, Barcelona 2021 is gonna be Worlds. Oh yeah. Also, I guess within more shout out, if you live in the States and you want to organize track lacrosse nationals for 2021, you need to be at Track Lacrosse Nationals 2020. Just to make that clear, because there was a little bit of confusion. And so
you show your support.
Yeah, you got to show up and you got to stand up and you got to talk to everybody. You got to put in a bid and just make your voice heard. And what could you provide for the races? But you got into June to figure it out. And yeah, so I guess that's it. Shout out to friends, family. I'm out here visiting family. So I think that's it, really.
Thanks for coming all the way out here to Brooklyn, man.
Yeah, for sure.
Appreciate it. Thanks for coming on the show. It's good to see you in New York.
Good to see you too.
Thank you guys for tuning in. We'll be back on Tuesday. This is trying to keep this to a Tuesday, but we only had Gene here for a few days, and he, he's a special guest, so it's like gotta get him in here.
Oh,
when we could,
actually, since this is a live event,
this is
or a live video,
yeah.
Let's Saturday. There's gonna be a cyclocross race at Rainy Park, and rumors is you could show up on the track bike for the single speed race.
Ooh!
So if you're really about it, New York, pull up to Queens,
pull up on your track
bike with knobbies on. And come into the race. It's you can follow King Cog, and Sun and Air, right?
Yep.
CX. Here, pop it up, and then right? Got to give the shout out.
Cog BK.
King Cog. Let me see. Pull up here now.
Or is it King Cog Brooklyn?
King Cog.
It's Brooklyn.
Sun and Air CX. That's where they've been promoting it at.
Oh, it's not even. Here, let me see.
That's the flyer right there, baby.
King Cog, okay.
But anyways, yeah. So if you're in New York and you're watching this right now, pull up. I'll be there.
Word. Yeah, I didn't know that about the track lacrosse. They're letting people. I thought there's so
I mean,
you're racing against single speed.
I mean,
and
it's
they're gonna
kind of
let it fly.
it's kind of hush hush, you know.
Yeah.
Like somebody told me to do it, but I mean, we're here now, so I would definitely love to at least see a presence. Like even if they say we can't race it, like we should all get together and show them that we want to race it, you know,
Yep.
because that's one step forward to just keep promoting how hungry we are to continue track lacrosse, I guess.
Yeah.
But whatever.
This is
You get it.
also I'm pretty sure we talked about this recently with Brian about Rainy Park. The Rainy Park event. I think it's for sure
Queens?
it's the only New York City cyclocross event, period.
Oh, really? I didn't even know that.
I'm pretty sure about that.
Interesting.
Someone correct me if I'm wrong.
Huh.
Tell me I'm stupid, but
Yeah.
I think that's what it is. So
Cool.
if you're in New York City, you should definitely come out if you haven't seen a cross
Queens.
race or even a cyclocross race. You'll get a better appreciation for how hard these guys give it 150% for 40 minutes or so.
Also, I'm gonna be there, but I'm definitely not fast. So don't
You're
think
racing?
that-
Of course
yeah,
you are.
maybe. Yeah.
Hell yeah.
You know,
Okay.
we'll see.
Sweet, man.